Welcome, everybody. It is getting close to the 8th Veteran Shark Tank, and I have the pleasure of having here today Kevin Harrington, an original shark and entrepreneur himself. And Kevin, thanks so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Great to be here, Alex. Thanks for having me. It's such a great cause, and I'm excited about many of the things you're doing with our veterans. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, one of the things is giving back is so many different shapes and forms. And one of the things that you wanted to do was give back to teach our veteran entrepreneurs really the best things to do, best tips to do for pitching. And I would want to turn it over to you and I'll be on a listening mode of sharing with our contestants what they can do to prepare for their pitch.
Super. So thank you, Alex. I'm going to take 30 seconds for a quick overview, a little bit of my background so people can understand the relevance of pitching. And then I'm going to get into a few minutes on pitching and wish everybody good luck from there. So I'll take it away if you're ready. So thank you, Alex. Let me just say that I go back almost 40 years as a serial entrepreneur. One day I'm watching television. I had just ordered cable television. This is early 80s, almost 40 years ago. And all of a sudden the channel went dark. It was the Discovery Channel, and it was dark for 6 hours. I called the cable company and I said, hey, I'm not getting anything on Discovery. And they said, oh, it's a brand new channel. It's only an 18-hour-a-day channel, 6 hours a day. There's nothing there. It's dead air. And I said, oh my God, I said, let me fill the airwaves for you and let's share some profits. And so that's when I started bringing them products. The Food Saver, Ginsu Knives, Arnold Morris, Jack LaLanne and the Juicer, George Foreman, Billy Mays, Tony Little, Fitness, all of the above. And then we got into celebrity products. We did the Hiltons, Kim Kardashian's first infomercial, 50 Cent in his headphones, his speaker phones. And so anyway, 600 products later, $5 billion in sales, I finally got a phone call from Mark Burnett, who said, hey, Kevin, would you like to be on this show, Shark Tank? And I said, but Mark, you didn't tell me what it is. I know you do really crazy things to people on that Survivor show. What would you be doing to people on a show called Shark Tank? Okay. And so he says, oh no, don't go there. He says, it's a business show. All right. Cause I'm thinking they're going to throw people into tanks of sharks or something. Right. So anyway, make a long story short, I did the pilot of Shark Tank in 175 segments and had an amazing amount of great times with the sharks and Mark Burnett and the producers, et cetera. And so I learned a thing or two about pitching when I was on Shark Tank. And by the way, the funny thing is when I was talking to Mark Burnett and he was first telling me about what Shark Tank was, he explained it this way. An inventor, an entrepreneur is seeking capital. They're going to come out, they're going to pitch to a panel of 5 sharks and they get 3 minutes to pitch. The 5 sharks get 3 minutes to make up their mind whether they want to invest or negotiate against or with one of the other sharks. And so I said, Mark, if that's what a shark is, someone that's negotiating with someone pitching them for their product, I've been doing that for 30 plus years already. That's what I told him. And he says, well, what do you mean? I said, I go to the houseware show, the hardware show, the fitness show, the beauty show, the golf show, the toy fair, et cetera, all around the world. And I do these dozens of trade shows every single year, taking pitches, investing in now over 500 deals I've invested in. So I've taken over 50,000 pitches, and I'm going to now share those tips today with the veterans that are going to be pitching on our veterans program. So let me just start by saying this. I could spend all day teaching the pitching process because there's no way in just a few minutes we're going to learn it all. But I'm going to do my best to focus you because it's many, many steps, but I have consolidated what I have. I have a 10-step formula that'd take me an hour. We're not going to go there right now. I've consolidated it to 3 steps, and they're very simple, and we're going to start right now. So what are the 3 steps of doing a perfect pitch? Tease, please, and seize. It's that simple. Tease them, please them, seize them. Now, let's explain what that means. The teasing stage, so we're putting the steps into 3 categories. When you tease, you have to get their attention, and you start to get their attention with some kind of problem that the person you're pitching can identify with. So start with an attention getting problem. And now let's say you're pitching me. You've pitched me, you've got my attention, and because you've started with a problem, I'm saying, yes, I agree. I'm tuning in to what you're saying. So I'm now paying attention. I agree that is a problem. Now, the next phase, these are the important phases, because I mean, each one is equally important, because if you don't get their attention and they're not listening, they're not going to get to step 2 or 3. So oftentimes the attention getting phase might be something, and in the world of direct response, it could be something crazy, just to like maybe something out of the blue. Like when we did the original Ginsu, it's a very sharp knife. Well, what did we do in the first 5 seconds? We showed a guy that's got his karate outfit on, trying to cut through a watermelon with his feet. And we're like, you wouldn't cut a watermelon like this, would you? I mean, people are like, what's going on here? Okay. Introducing Ginsu. Whoosh, the knife goes through the watermelon like a hot knife through butter. Yes, you got my attention. This guy trying to, cut a watermelon with his foot. Like, okay, what's that all about? But it's nothing to do with the product. It's about getting your attention. Billy Mays starts with OxyClean eating a meatball sandwich. What happens? Grease drips all over him. Has this ever happened to you? 3 seconds, you got my attention. Yes, that's happened to me. Now, that is a problem. How are you going to clean that? Introducing OxyClean, introducing Ginsu, the sharp knife, et cetera, et cetera. So get their attention. Now, that's the tease. You next have to please. And please means give me all the benefits. Give me all the solutions to those problems. And let's talk about other things that could be good here. Let's demonstrate the product, or if it's a service or a product or whatever, get it started, get rolling with it. Demonstration. So that's part of it. Also, I love this term, magical transformations. This is the please phase. So this is before, and now magically transformed, this is after. If you're selling a weight loss product, it's overweight to in shape, perfect looking, beautiful body. If it's acne marked skin, now it's clear skin, magical transformation. So what we're talking about here in this second phase of pleasing is getting demonstrations, proving it out. Give me the benefits, give me the solutions, give me some magical transformations. The last thing I want to hear about are testimonials. Do you have people using the product? Do you have professionals? Do you have any doctors? Do you have any lawyers? Do you have any high-level people that, if it's a skincare product, go for professionals and celebrities. Don't just go for average users. The higher level of testimonial you get, the more powerful it will be. This is stage 2, step 2, the please. And so again, going back to the beginning, we said you tease them by getting their attention with a problem. You please them by solving the problem with benefits, solutions, magical transformations, and demonstrations, as well as great testimonials. Now you seize, and this is step 3, you seize with an irresistible offer. If you had the first 2 and your offer stinks, you're not going to make the deal, okay? It's like someone comes out on Shark Tank, I want $1 million for 10% of my company. Well, you may have had me up to that point, but when you go crazy with your offer that nobody would touch with a 10-foot pole, don't be ridiculous. And by the way, this is where we came up with this, I call it a value add pitch. Don't be afraid to value add. So let's say you're selling a product and it costs $1,000. So now you've told them the price is $1,000, and they may be thinking, okay, if the price is here and the value is here, you're probably not going to make the sale. You have to increase value stacks to bring the value more than the price. Now people say, hey, that's a good deal. Yeah, that's a good value. I'm going to buy. Okay, so that is how you create these irresistible value stacks. And And so what does this mean? It's, oh, my price is $1,000 for this product, but wait, there's more value stacks coming up. Okay. You're going to get this, and you're going to get this, and you're going to get this if you order now. So this is when you're making it irresistible, right? So it's irresistible because you're getting major value all for only $1,000. Maybe there's a $5,000 value for $1,000. So make it irresistible. And I just have couple little last minute things to discuss here, because we had a lot of fun talking about the pitching process. So let's say you're pitching for money, and this is always very difficult. It's important that when you pitch for money, you want to make the best deal for the first guy in, because if let's say you're raising $1 million and you need 10 investors at 100,000 apiece, or 20 investors at 50,000 apiece. Getting the first one sometimes is the toughest. Once you get that momentum going, it's, oh, well, Joe already invested 50, and then another guy invested. Oh, okay, great. Guys are putting money in, I'm in. So, but getting the first one's important. So what I say is sometimes you have to give this irresistible offer on a quick, an accelerated payback. And this is an important thing. So if I'm an investor and you're telling me put up 100 grand, 10 guys at 100 grand are going to get 10% of the company. And so shouldn't the guy that takes the risk on the first 100 get a little better deal than the 10th guy that comes in after all the money's raised? Because there's a chance on the first guy that you never raise any more money. And what happens then? Oh, wow, that 100 might be gone, and he may be, having a hard time getting his return on his investment someday. So always think about offering a little extra incentive. And I call it an accelerated payback. So let me explain how that works. I'm pitching you. I'm saying to you, okay, it's $100,000. We're going to have 10 investors, but I'm willing to give the first investor his money back on a guaranteed basis in 6 months, or on a percentage of sales, or some deal that you maybe have to sweeten the pot a little bit. Now, I also have a disclaimer here. If you're dealing with SEC documents and broker dealers and investment bankers, sometimes you can't have different deals for different people. So I'm not suggesting you do anything that isn't legal, et cetera. But if there's a way that you can offer the first investors in a better deal, you're going to have a better way of getting to those monies you're looking to raise. So think about that. How can you accelerate the payback? And Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank, he wants an accelerated payback by asking for a royalty, for example. He says, I don't want just equity. I want a royalty so I get my money back quicker, right? It's not such a bad thing necessarily. So anyway, those are the 3 steps to the perfect pitch. Tease them, please them, seize them. And it's going to help you across the board. There's a couple other last minute things that I'll tell you. You also, somewhere through the process, you have to present your background and your credibility and the reason why you are a worthwhile risk. Generally, it has something to do with how you have the knowledge for this business and the background and the track record to garner this investment potential with these investors. So I want to know a little bit about you. Also, you need to know a lot about your numbers. One of the biggest things, if you're asking for $1 million for 10% of your company, I want to know what's the use of proceeds. So be prepared to talk about where the money's going to be spent, what it's going to do. Do you have a marketing plan, et cetera, and a business plan? So these are just some of the last little things to think about. And Alex, I just want to say, I'm really excited about what you're doing for the veterans. My father was in World War II. He was in the Air Force, flew 160 missions, and really served our country very well. And I just want to say that anybody out there that is a veteran, thank you for your service. Thank you for the special opportunity we have here to help you get to the right people when it comes to financing your business or helping you get this pitch off the ground. So thanks a lot. Appreciate the time. And if anybody would like to get back in touch with me, Kevin Harrington.tv is a website. You can find out lots of great information and click through. If you want to track me down, there's ways to do that inside the website, or ask Alex here how to track me down. I'm happy to jump in and help a veteran in need. So thank you for having me. And Alex, back to you.
Absolutely. Kevin, thanks so much. It's a wealth of knowledge, as you said before. In a short period of time, there's a lot of information, but I know that with the hours and hours, you can perfect it as well. So thanks so much for giving back, especially this year more than ever. So thanks so much, Kevin.
I appreciate it. Good luck.